Once again, the ANC is just proving why they shouldn't be in government. Once again, they're taking out the begging bowl, but this time they're asking for help from us.
When people zone
have our smallanyana skeletons.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. So we all know that the budget speech was postponed, and this was over, the debate about the VAT increase. But now, Cyril Ramaphosa is coming out and trying to, garner sympathy.
No Minister of Finance ever gets to a point where they will just willy-nilly raise taxes without...
Right, sure. No government official wants to raise taxes willy-nilly. I mean, it's not like the taxes help pay for their salaries. No, of course not.
Right.
Without getting to a point where they may believe that they have no other alternatives.
Sure.
And I have never met a person who wants to pay more taxes.
Of course, who says they want to pay more taxes? He's such an idiot.
In our country, and I guess in the world. So nobody wants to pay more taxes. But this moment also presents us with an issue frontally that we need to confront. The trade-offs that we have to embrace. Right now, we've got limited revenue limits. Our revenue, as it stands, is not able to fund every priority, every ambition that we have.
Because you're too busy stealing it.
So the Minister of Finance scrounges around to find money. So, in the end...
Scrounges around to find money. Oh, my word. Can you believe this?
And as South Africans, we therefore need to sit back and say, how are we going to...
As South Africans, no. Just you, as politicians, need to just... First of all, it's a very bloated government. Like, there doesn't need to be over 70 ministers in government. That alone would save you a lot of money, Mr. President.
To stop. And I think the Minister of Finance sought to address this yesterday. How are we going to get over the budget cuts? How are we going...
I really wonder, budget cuts, I really wonder if he's talking about Donald Trump or the U.S. not, helping or funding South Africa anymore. It's like when you lose when a business loses a big client, right? There's been basically, it supports your business, right? Like it's like your biggest client, and then your biggest client decides, cheers. And now you got to speak to your staff and be like, listen, guys, I got some budget cuts. It just all feels like a very big coincidence. I'm not saying that because the U.S. has decided to stop helping South Africa, funding it, all that stuff, that this is a direct result of that.
It is not a coincidence. I'm not an idiot.
But it is interesting.
To continue funding all our priorities, the public servant salaries, the teachers, the nurses, the doctors, and the SRD, the grants that we've been paying to
Of course you want the money for the grants. Not that it really helps you. I mean, everybody was saying that the reason why South Africa has these grants is so that it basically buys votes. But in the last election we saw that doesn't necessarily happen. And you can see he's a little bit, he doesn't know how to deliver this. He's almost trying to act like, listen, I'm so embarrassed that I have to ask for money from you guys. But like, seriously, we don't have any money. And it's always baffling to me when the South African government says they don't have any money. On the one hand, the taxpayer is taxed to death in South Africa. But at the same time, there's a very small pool of taxpayers, and it's getting even smaller. This is the first time the South African government has said they can't pay salaries. This has happened before, and now they're saying it again. And here's the finance minister saying it as well.
We've had challenges in funding frontline services. Health, education, and so on. About 2 weeks ago, there was a march to my office by doctors and so on.
Why does he look like he's been through war or something. Like the way he just kind of like zones out for a moment is it's kind of worrying. Are you okay, Mr. Finance Minister?
As we speak, there's a threat of losing 19,000 teachers in KZN. Department of Correctional Affairs, as we speak, have got a challenge even with their current employment levels to even pay the existing employees. We've had a similar challenge with the defense. So I can go on and on.
Okay, there was a lot of alarming things that he said there. First of all, he's saying that there's no money to pay teachers and nurses or people in hospital, all that stuff, and that they've been struggling for a while, and they're struggling to pay their current employees. And you heard that correctly. They have a similar challenge with the Defense Force.
We are fucked.
So almost every industry or every sector that the government controls, they're struggling to pay their staff. I shouldn't be laughing. I really shouldn't be laughing. But at this point, I mean, I don't know what else to do because these people are still in power. So the government has no money. And it just makes me wonder, like, is this why they pushed expropriation without compensation? Like, think about it. The Expropriation Act allows the government to pay for your land without basically for no compensation, nothing, right? They could take the land for not even paying you for anything, right? Maybe it's maybe the government just doesn't have the money even if it wanted to pay you. I don't know. They're just like, we don't have any money, so yeah, we're gonna have to take this land for free. I'm just kidding. Obviously, there's other nefarious reasons as to why they want to take your land. I think they want to take your land so that they can make you work like a dog on it, take your earnings, decide what you get, and yeah, go full blown communism. And you think that you're gonna own that land, but you're not. You're not gonna own that land. You'll never get or see a title deed.
We are in shit, full stop.
It's got that whole own nothing and be happy vibe. So the government's broke despite all the tax that they already get. Maybe y'all should stop stealing the money. You ever think about that? Just for once, just maybe 1 month, just decide, you guys, we're not going to touch it. We're going to put it where it needs to go. All that stuff. I don't know. Like, just for 1 month, just stop, take a break, a hiatus. You know what I mean? And I just want to say at this point, NHI is going to be so great, guys. You think it's bad now? Wait until NHI comes in. Wait until NHI comes in. And then they can't afford to pay their staff in all those hospitals. It may not happen right away, but it will happen. It just feels like they're trying to gain sympathy from us. Like they're trying to make us feel bad because they're like, oh, we can't pay salaries. We don't have any money. This is why we want to increase the VAT. So please let us increase the VAT so we have money to pay our staff. But I don't know if you guys know this. The 2025 budget has been canceled indefinitely. So nobody knows when this is going to happen. It was postponed previously, but now it's just been canceled. So who knows what's going to happen next, but I'll keep a close eye on this story, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider becoming a member. It goes a long way to supporting this channel and helping me to produce content on this channel. Greatly appreciated. And if you can't afford to give a monthly contribution, then at least give a super thanks or sasa thanks, as we call them on this channel. It goes a long way to supporting me and what I do. And I want to produce more content for this channel, so your contribution will go a long way to helping me to do that. Leave a comment in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, what you think about all of this. Leave a like, share this video far and wide, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got more content coming your way, and with all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
Why is a piranha's bite so deadly? Well, look closely at one of these piranha's teeth. Do you notice that small nub on the left side? This nub fits neatly inside the tooth next to it. Every piranha tooth is linked to the tooth next to it. Compare this to the jaw on this monkey. On this jaw, each tooth is completely separate. Now, because piranha teeth are linked together, their individual sharp edges are connected, forming one continuous blade that can slice through things like a knife. And that's why a piranha's bite is so deadly.